Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lawn Care CEO podcast. My name is Dan Rouse. I'm the head coach of the Lawn Care CEO. Lawn Care CEO podcast is where lawn care guys learn to become leaders. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about perhaps the most important thing you need to understand in order to earn more clients, to win at the game of Google, and which is the just juggernaut of marketing at the end of the day. And so stick around. If you're at a stage where it's like, all right, time to grow, time to scale, time to get bigger, this is going to be absolute detailed knowledge that you're going to have to get started. And by the way, brought a guest with me, the Rain Man of Lawn Care.
Howdy.
The 2017 Missile Defender of the Year, according to the United States Army. One of our fractional CEO coaches, Sam Guston. Insert applause. Right.
Air horn. Yeah.
Air horn. This is fantastic. Sam, welcome to the podcast. I'm super excited to talk about this. And I'll let you talk in a minute. Don't worry. We're going to let you talk. But the thing that I'm excited, the reason I'm excited to talk about this is because of this fundamental principle, and we'll dig right in. The fundamental principle is this. I'm of the belief, and I could have somebody disagree with me, that when someone wants lawn care of any type, a project, if they want service, they want their lawn mowed, tall grass short, yellow grass green, any of that, when they want that, there are two possible ways that they get to pick a company. And I think there are only two. There's starting to be like 2.25, but really primarily two. The first one is they ask a neighbor, a friend, they get a referral. This is why, by the way, we do yard signs, we do wrap trucks. This is why we do referral programs. This is why we leave door hangers on people who are around the clients we service. All of that is ways of communicating to the neighbors, hey, Mrs. Johnson chose us, and you should too. But the second way that happens, and by the way, I do think it's almost gender specific. I think women are more likely to ask a friend. I think men are more likely to ask Google.
Yep.
And Google is the second way that if I wake up in the morning and I need to find a lawn care company, I use Google. Is that fair, Sam, to say that, I don't know if it's gender specific, but is it fair to say those are the two ways?
Yeah, right now, I think artificial intelligence, some LLM is going to enter the chat here soon. But yeah, as of right now, those are the core two ways.
Yeah, so AI is definitely going to be a factor. I even asked AI the other day, I was like, hey, AI, what percentage of searches go through Google with this type of search that goes through Google, and what percentage are starting to go through ChatGPT or some other AI? And even AI was like, it's like 2% us.
Oh, wow.
And 98% still Google. And so it's still a very small margin, especially for a local service. I think there are going to be some industries where we get there a little quicker. But for local, like I need a guy down the street, we're still using Google as a primary tool. Not to like, and we'll have stick around on the podcast because we're definitely going to talk a lot about AI on the podcast. We're big believers in that disrupting all industries, including ours. Mm-hmm. But today is all about Google and how we understand Google and how we engage with Google. Now, if I could, I would like for those of you watching on YouTube or whatever, I will actually show you how I think this works. And so here's how I think it works. Let me pull a little tab out here and I'm going to share it with you, and I'll describe it as we go. And Sam, you can be my guinea pig here. And so here's what I want you to do. If you are looking for lawn care in Queen Creek, Arizona, where I'm sitting today, how would you go about it if you showed up at Google? What would you type?
If I was there, I would just say lawn care near me.
Lawn care near me. And you'd type that in, and what you would see is you would see first, for those on listening, you'd see the sponsored lawn care Queen Creek ads. Mm-hmm. Out of curiosity, do you skip the ads?
I personally do.
Skip the ads. So, by the way, I survey audiences all the time. This is one of my favorite things to teach. I survey audiences, and probably and I don't know if it's primarily because I'm talking to like business owners and they're all jaded and they know what this game is and you're not going to market to me. I'm going to find out my own answer or whatever it is. But probably about 85%, 80 to 85% say I skip the ads.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it doesn't mean we shouldn't advertise there, because they're probably that 20% that do. Pause there and just click on the first one if it's well reviewed, and move forward. Mm-hmm. Do you do, these are called, by the way, local service ads. Do you do local service ads in your business, Sam?
We don't, only because we rank top 3 in Google Map Packs. But if we were just starting out, I would probably recommend going there. What's beautiful about LSA that is not so intriguing about Google Ads is you're simply paying cost per lead. And you can then go back and submit a refund request if it was a completely unverified lead, because all these calls are recorded. But if you have a good close rate, this could be a very viable option if you're not ranking top 3 in maps.
Yeah. Like if I were like full foot down on the pedal of growth, I would be spending money on LSAs. And we've seen good results for that in fertilization and weed control. We've seen some decent results for that in mowing. We've seen like across, especially residential, especially those who are doing recurring services. This is not a bad place to hang out. Yep. But like you said, it's really secondary. It's down the line compared to the next. So as I scroll through the page, I look at the sponsored ads. The next ad I look at is a Google pay-per-click. Mm-hmm. So this is our pay-per-click ad. Another sponsored result. Google even like tells you in big letters. Like it's sort of like if I were talking to Google, I'd be like, can you just make that font a little smaller?
Yeah,
that it's a sponsored result. And then we scroll down. So again, we scroll past all the sponsored, and then we get to what's called the business map pack. 95% of people that I've ever surveyed, this is where they live. And this is how they make a decision, is right here on this page with these, by the way, 3 names: BV Lawn Care, the Yard Experts, and Dino, I should stand that a little bit, DinoTurf.co. Mm-hmm. And out of curiosity, Sam, which of these 3 would you choose, or would you click on more businesses?
I would not click on more businesses. And if all of these had weird titles where I wasn't sure based on the title if they would solve my need, I would then click on more businesses. But if I'm looking for lawn care, I'd probably go with BV Lawn Care. Dino Turf Co. would be confusing to me. Like, are they doing artificial turf, or I don't know. Yeah,
good point. So the 3 titles we have is BV Lawn Care, mm-hmm. the Yard Experts, which by the way is a good name. I like that name. And then Dino Turf Co. And Dino Turf Co. is weird enough. It doesn't say lawn care. It doesn't say yard anywhere. And so I'm like, I don't maybe know quite what it is, even though they have 267 reviews, 5-star reviews. BV Lawn Care has 4.9 at 254 reviews. They're slightly better rated. Do you have 5-star suspicion? Like some people, like when they see it's only 5 stars, they go, this seems shady. But 4.9, I totally trust.
Yeah, I do. But if you're listening to this and you have 5,000 reviews and a 5-star rating, don't go hunt 1 stars just to get it down to 4.9. But if you do get a 1-star, understand that it's not the end of the world, and how you respond is what matters. But to bring it back to here, Dan, what's interesting is, yes, review rating and quantity of reviews is important, but in the top 3, it's kind of just like, I'm cool with pretty much all 3 if the names speak to me. I actually might go with the Yard Experts over BV Lawn Care.
By the way, just so you know, Yard Experts has 4.9 for those listening with 67 reviews versus 4.9 BV Lawn Care with 254 reviews. So you're saying even the 67 guys got a shot.
100%. Like, I don't know what BV stands for, so like it doesn't really matter. But the Yard Experts, that name is just it's a very great name. And so I might just be like, what's going on here? And then what I like
it feel. Yeah. Cause what we're hunting for, and this is important to think through this whole thing. when I am a consumer of, I'm probably the best person for this because I don't own a lawn care company, but as a consumer of lawn care services, right? I had a guy come by the other day, trim my bushes. Like, as a consumer, the thing I'm hunting for is I want to feel like I made a good decision. That's the only thing I care about. I want to feel proud of myself that I made the right choice when making the decision. And so what I'm hunting for is I'm looking for things that will give me evidence that I'm making the right choice. So this is why reviews are so important, because reviews are social proof that I'm making the right choice. So you look at the little ad here. This guy says 30 plus years in business. Well, the reason he's saying that is to say, you should trust me. I've been doing this for a very long time.
Yep.
This guy doesn't have a tagline, which, by the way, I would edit that, right? This is your one chance to say something that helps you help me feel trust. So you're saying the Yard Experts is more trustworthy, maybe, of a name than BV Lawn Care.
Yes and no. I could flip a coin really between BV Lawn Care and the Yard Experts, which is interesting because Yard Experts has 200 less reviews, but they're top two. And at this point, I would probably just click on the Yard Experts website. And if it like really speaks to me, I'm going that route. And if it not, I'd probably go check out BV Lawn Care. Right away, I'm probably backing out. And I don't know if you know why. Like, what would be the one thing you'd back out right away?
Candidly, the logo is funky. All of a sudden that detracted for me. Honestly, I was hoping it would be a really clean, simple, just polished professional logo. Love that it said Queen Creek, Arizona. That helped. It does say 200 plus 5-star reviews on Google.
Like right away,
they do not have 200 5-star reviews in Google.
Right away, I'm getting lied to.
I just noticed that. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like,
so I'm backing out there.
60 plus 5-star reviews on Google. I might stick around. Yeah.
Tens of reviews is what I would put there.
Tens of 5-star reviews. So moral of the story here is this. When the most important real estate in marketing, in lawn care, any really local service business, is this what is called the map pack. What is called the map pack. And it's these three businesses. It's, 40 years ago we had the Yellow Pages. This is the modern Yellow Pages. The modern Yellow Pages are these three names. And it used to be, you'd be like AAA Lawn Care. Well, AAA Lawn Care wanted to be the first name that got considered. And then they might put a little ad if they wanted to build trust. It's the same thing today. We just have three names that get considered. And all three of these are going to get clicks and they're going to grow. Unless you really screw up some version of this. Now, there's going to be a small percentage that trickles down that clicks on more businesses. But if you and by the way, I could scroll for ages. If you're not on this first page of scrolling, you're out. Like, I'm not clicking on more. Like, this, as far as anybody's going to get to go, even though there's probably pages and pages and pages. But all of these guys aren't getting any chance of being found on Google organically.
Yep. I agree.
So these guys are the guys that should be doing local service ads, etc. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. But that's the idea that I really want to hammer home here is, and the reason why what we're going to talk about is so important is because in order for us to get to be welcomed into the big dance, we got to nail it. Now, the other thing that's important to recognize before we dig into kind of the tactics and strategies of how we go about getting ranked and what we can do in a daily, weekly, monthly basis to make sure we're in that game of getting ranked. I think it's also important to recognize that the ranking that I see on my computer will be different because of my location than if I walked a mile south of me. I would get a different set of names. So don't be terribly discouraged because proximity matters, my search history, like it's taking in a lot of factors to decide who gets put in that pack, and where you might be in the map pack a mile south and not a mile north. So don't get terribly discouraged. The other thing to keep in mind is when you go look at this or test this for yourself, make sure to do it like in incognito mode or something, so it doesn't know your search history, because you've probably been to your own website before, and it's going to favor the fact that you're doing your website. Or if you're sitting in your office and doing it, it's going to know you're sitting in your office and know that this is the really proximity close result, and you might show up higher than you actually are. So you want to like have friends or neighbors and have your cousins say, hey, search up lawn care near me and see what comes up and see if you're there.
Yep. Spot on.
All right, Sam. So walk us through. This is something that you've done a lot of study on. Walk us through, what do we do if we're not there, or even if we are there, we just want to solidify our position. Like, what do we do, and what are some of the simple techniques we can take on?
Yeah, I have 4 key strategies, and you sum up my strategies into 3 words. That's probably cleaner. But my 4 strategies to rank number 1 on Google Maps without having to pay for a sponsored ad is reviews, business name, category, and physical address. And
I'll back up a little bit because this will help us, I think, help understand why these strategies are going to work for us. Because I forgot to mention this. I was going to mention this. So Google has 3 core pillars. The official Google publications have 3 core pillars that help us understand why Google puts someone in that map pack. Mm-hmm. And the 3 core pillars are, number 1, relevance. In other words, does your website and your local business profile match what I typed in the search bar? How closely does it match? And the Google business profile is part of that. And can we make sure that the Google business profile is matching? So if I'm a mowing company, I better have some mowing in my category. I better have mowing on my H1 tag on my website. I better have mowing all over the place if I'm trying to get people who are searching for mowing for me to be ranked there. The second pillar, so first is relevance. Second pillar is distance. Distance, how close are you? By the way, this relevance is probably about 25% of the equation. So and the reason it's only 25 is because everyone can get that right. Everyone should and needs to get that right. It's easy to do. The next one is distance. How far or close are you from me? And how does your website talk about where your service area is? And then finally is prominence, meaning how well known and trusted are you in the community, and how can Google learn about, validate, and figure out who you are? I sometimes call Google a popularity contest. Google's a popularity contest, and we want to be the most popular girl in town so that we can win the popularity contest and be put on stage in our homecoming dress, right? Yep. So we want prominence. And so prominence shows up in reviews, it shows up in backlinks, it shows up in citations, it shows up in, recency of because just because you were popular junior year doesn't mean you're going to be popular senior year. So it's looking for how popular are you right now? And it's looking for recency and frequency and all those things. Activity is a big part of what it means to be prominent. So again, 3 things: relevance, distance, prominence, the 3 n's.
Yep.
Relevance, distance, prominence.
Yeah, and going back to when you shared your screen, that third person on that Google Map Packs, Dino Turf Co., they had 200 more reviews than the person ranking right above them. They're probably frustrated to have no clue what's going on. And it comes down to a mix of those 3 things. Relevance. I search lawn care. Your name is Dino Turf Co. For reviews, it's you have more reviews, but what's the recency and frequency of those reviews coming in? Because I can have less reviews, but if I get 1 to 2 5-star reviews per week, and Dino Turf Co. hasn't got a review in 6 months, Google's hey, yard experts. The yard experts are a business doing good work right now. I know that for a fact. Yep. I don't know about Dino Turf Co. anymore.
Dino Turf Co. used to be popular.
Yeah.
But it's not popular right now.
Right. So that's the importance, is you can still outrank your competitor with less reviews. It's less about quality or less about quantity and more about frequency mixed with quality.
Yep.
You don't want
and the very best is if you have both. If you're frequent and have high quantity, which by the way, eventually will go together, because if you're consistent, then you're eventually going to have a lot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that.
Reviews is really important too, because when you go play the Google LSA game, that's going to be one of the things that helps you get like ranked higher on Google LSA as well. So it's like you have other companies paying for those 2 spots in LSA. Who's Google really going to go put there? The people that are probably doing more of the 3 pillars. So they play hand in hand. But yeah, so my 4 strategies that go and play with what you said, Dan, was reviews, business name, category, and physical address. And really in no particular order, because I could argue that physical address is one of the more important things you can do like right now. Is if you're just a service area business on Google Business Profile, you're going to have a really hard time competing against a worse company than you who has a pin on the map. And I've spoke with clients in the past where it's like, hey, I have to pay $500 to go get a pin on the map. Do it. Like, do it. It's not a rent expense. It's a marketing expense. You can categorize it as a marketing expense on the P&L. And you just break it down. It's like, how many more leads do I get per month? What's my close rate on those leads? That means I get this many customers. That means I really get a CAC of $20, or, it pays for itself. Would you agree with that statement, Dan?
Yeah. It's one of the frustrating things. And for years, other industries who are probably better and more sophisticated marketing industries, because the value is there, have been playing this game. So years ago, I was coaching an attorney, and the attorney was like, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go get a P.O. box, 80 P.O. boxes in our community. We're going to drop a pin as if that is our physical address, and we're going to do that. That used to work, by the way, but Google is like, wait, I need you to verify you really have a pin there, right? So this is the game, by the way, that Google plays with marketers. Marketers go exploit the Google algorithm, and then Google changes the algorithm, because it really is, Google gets it, man. Google is a billion trillion dollar company, and they get it because they know people will keep coming if when I get to Google, I see what I want to see and I get a good result. As soon as that goes away, their entire business is predicated on making sure that happens. And so they're going to make sure, and they're going to do their very best to make sure that they're delivering relevant, close, nearby, if it's a service business, and prominent results. And so for you to have a pin on the map, like a physical location, you tell me which you would prefer. Would you prefer to have a plumber that works out of his house, or a plumber that has an office? And
office, it's just professional.
Office. Yeah. And so Google's the same way. Google's saying, hey, we would prefer to recommend someone who has an actual office that's a real quote unquote real business. And so it's worth that pin. I've even had companies that said, hey, we're trying to get into a new area that we actually service from our current area. So we're going to go drop a pin in that community. And we're going to spend as little as we can, but we're going to make it a real office, even if it's a closet, with a real place to park a truck and a real sign out front. And that's going to be our location. And we're just going to hang a closed sign, and we're never going to go to that office. But we need to prove to Google we have a legit office in this place. And Google will say, okay, I'll put a pin there for you.
Yep. And there's a few different like tips and tricks you can do. But I do want to speak to the business owner right now, Dan, who's like frustrated. Maybe they're going through the verification process right now. I want to challenge you to not get frustrated, and instead of just be thankful that there is such a barrier to entry there. Because once you're verified, like you've experienced how hard it is to get verified. It's not that easy for somebody to come in and undercut you on Google Business Profile once you're verified and got good reviews and you're doing a lot of the things right. So it really is more of an opportunity than it is a threat.
It just dawned on me, Sam, when you're like, well, I don't want to spend on a location. And by the way, I'm a total advocate. You should spend as little as possible. Like if you could spend $1 a month on that location, it would work. I'd spend $1 a month. But if you're not spending there, you're probably not getting ranked. And because you're not getting ranked, you're going to have to spend dollars elsewhere. So there is a moment where we're going to have to spend dollars here. And so it's marketing costs a little bit of money, and we have to, use money to make money. I'm not sure this is my first thing I do. I'm probably really honing in early on in the referral side of the business, if I'm really a baby business, and getting enough to generate enough revenue to where I can then start playing the Google game. But at some point, Google's going to want to see that. Do you know if Google, I actually don't know this. Does Google like it if you've been around for a while in that same location? Is that a algorithm feature? I don't know.
I have no clue.
I wouldn't be surprised. So I think I was just like, is it better if we do it sooner rather than later? I think there's probably, I don't know, my guess is yes. Okay, so we talked about one of the 4 pillars. One of the 4 pillars is pin on the map.
Yep.
Pin on the map and by the way, make sure, this is important. This is how nerdy this stuff gets, but make sure your Google business profile address matches your address everywhere else that you're listed. Make sure that those are consistent. Don't list your one address on the local Google business profile and then another address on your website, or don't list a PO box on your website where you have a physical address. Make sure all of that is consistent, because Google's looking for, hey, are you telling the truth? And any inconsistency makes Google nervous.
Yeah, 100%.
Right, so pillar 1 is pin on the map.
Pin on the map. And last little thing with pin on the map, it just kind of comes down to location. It would behoove of you. I've heard that before in the Army. Just say it sometimes.
Behoove you.
Behoove you. Don't ask me what that means, please. And it would behoove you if you geotagged all your photos that you upload into Google Business Profile. So if you're like, Sam, what in the world are you talking about, man? Ask your favorite LLM, ChatGPT, Claude, as Dan calls Chippy and C Money. Ask your favorite LLM how to geotag your photos. All you're essentially doing is putting a lat long for the downtown of your area. And so when someone searches downtown Austin, for example, all of your photos are geotagged. It helps you out there. Another pillar would be reviews. And we don't need to go too deep here. It's really important, but we've already nailed the essence, the heart of why reviews are important. Get good reviews that are real. Don't go pay for reviews. You can tip your employees on behalf of your customers for reviews, but don't go pay for fake reviews. Get reviews from people in your area. So if you're at a conference in Los Angeles and you are operating out of Massachusetts, don't go ask everybody at the conference for a review. Google is just going to know it's phony, and it could ding you in the long run. The big thing is, let me get 5-star reviews with descriptions, with photos, if possible, frequently. So on our KPI scorecard at Troops Mowing, we actively track how many new reviews we get on a weekly basis. And it's we fail if we don't get that. Now we have automations in place to help farm leads or farm reviews. But what doesn't get tracked doesn't get changed. And it's a big thing you can do for your Google Business Profile.
So I need to give a little disclaimer to some of the strategies that we've recommended on this podcast, if you've been listening, about how to get reviews. One of the strategies we've talked about a lot is, hey, every time you go to a property, drop a door hanger off, say, hey, we'll tip your tech for you. If you give a 5-star review mentioning the tech's name, we're going to tip the tech. Well, last month, remember I said Google marketers try to manipulate Google, and then Google claps back. Well, in April of this year, Google clapped back on that. It did say, hey, businesses should not be asking customers to name specific employees in reviews. I don't know what that's going to mean. But if they see all of your reviews have, hey, thanks Paco, thanks Frederico, names in the reviews, you're going to end up with, you may end up with problems. I don't understand this fully. I just wanted to let everyone know that's kind of come down the pipe as of April 2026.
Yeah. So what we do at Troops is we don't push out our employees' names to the customer. We simply just have an automation where we ask for a review, and if they leave a review, the crew on site will get tipped. And Whenever someone leaves a review, we just see who was the crew on the site on their last visit. They get tipped. So it looks just like a normal good 5-star review.
Yeah, simple adjustment, right? Which is like, hey, if you, like, by the way, you could even say, hey, if you leave a review, and then we're going to tip your techs. By the way, if you leave a review with a photo, we're going to tip your techs even more, right? Like you can like encourage the photo piece of it.
And if you don't leave a review, we're going to charge you more on the next visit. Don't do that.
They're legit rules against it. And I don't know how Google is going to enforce this. I don't know how Google is going to figure it out. But like Google is the boss. Like, and it behooves you to do what Google says you should do. So there are lots of different ways to push towards and work towards reviews. We've talked about a bunch of different strategies. If you're a one-man shop, honestly, the easiest, simplest way is just to ask. Have a little a preloaded text message you can just shoot to the person while you're chatting with them. Hey, how's everything going? My goal is 5-star service, and when they're like, oh, you're way over 5 stars. Oh man, the best thank you could give me is a 5-star review. Could I shoot you a text and have you do that right now? And you just shoot them a text. You have them do it right on the spot, because they won't if you leave, right? But so the principle is to ask for them. The companies who do it really well, like you, Sam, automate that ask to where we're asking every time without fail. And then do really good work that's worthy of 5-star rating, right? And over time, those will grow. Most of the companies who do this well also do have some kind of metric or measurement where they're paying attention to how many have come in and how many are working. Now, the one other thing you can do, and this is something I'd recommend, anytime you get a 5-star review, just put it like almost like put the alert on, turn the alert on so it comes in your email box. But every time you get a 5-star review, you go to that review and you say, thank you so much. We love serving you. And by the way, even if it's not a good review, and this is going down to prominence, they want you to be interactive on that local business profile. So if it's a bad review, also go respond to all of those, but also respond to all the good ones is my point.
Yeah. When you respond, try to use keywords. And so if we have a client who's in like Hutto, Texas, and she leaves us a 5-star review, we'll say, Mrs. Jones, thank you so much for choosing us as your lawn mowing service in Hutto. Like, and then say whatever you want after that. And just those little things, they add up. Yep.
Because again, we're saying relevance. Google's going, oh, another relevant example of this being what they do, and that people like it. And it's like that hits relevance and prominence, right? At the same time.
And then 1-star reviews, not great, but one 1-star review could be magic for your business. Because how you respond, when someone comes to look at your reviews, they're never going to the 5 stars. They're like, let me go see how this company's jacked it up. And if you get 1-star review and how you respond just shows like a professional character, that does more for you than just random 5-star reviews. Now, if you have 20,000 1-stars, it's like, well, we're kind of screwed there. But don't think it's the end of the world with a 1-star review. Calm down, take a breath before you respond, and because it's going to have lasting impact.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Don't clap back. Don't get angry. Don't be like, don't swear. Don't call them names. Actually just go, hey, so sorry. Because again, just imagine the entire community is watching this conversation. And so you want to nail it, right? You want to nail that conversation in a beautiful way. And when you do, then you're going to end up exposing the Karen who left that review anyway. And you're going to look a lot better if they're seeming crazy. You want to seem like they're the crazy one, essentially.
And they can't respond back to your response. So you get the final say.
That's a great point.
You get the final say. Take with that what you will, but you get the final say.
Okay. Pillar 1, pin on the map. Pillar 2, nail the review strategy. I would be asking frequency, almost more than quantity, but working towards quantity.
Yep.
What's number 3?
Business name. Your business name.
We kind of talked about this with Dino, right? But talk more about what you mean by business name.
Be very clear on what you do, who you service, and your name if you can. Like if you're a pest waste, not a pest waste, a pest control company, pest waste.
We take care of all of your fly waste. Like we come around with little scoopers and we scoop up all the fly waste that's left.
We're gonna hear like 5 years from now, someone watch this podcast, they're $1 billion. I'm like, great.
We had that idea.
Pest control.
Yep.
Don't be like Bob's Bug Removal. Like it's kind of a cool name, but in terms of like a relevance, be Queen Creek Pest Control, because then like there's a keyword in there, there's the location in there. If someone searches pest control in Queen Creek and your business name is actually Queen Creek Pest Control, good chance Google's going to be like, this is exactly what this person's looking for. Let me show them this company. Yeah. So business name's important.
And I'll add to that. There is like, so what do I do if I've already named my business and I already have a business profile with that name and I have a website with that name but I'm Dino Turf Co. or Dino, what was it? It wasn't even Dino Turf Co. It was like Dino.
It was literally Dino Turf Co. Yeah.
Or Dino Turf Co. Right. If I'm Dino Turf Co. and I'm like, oh, that probably isn't the clearest. I feel bad if Dino Turf Co. is listening. We love you. You're still a good business. Just come coach with us and we'll get you sorted out. But Dino, so for them, like to change your name also though, almost resets the algorithm and you're almost starting from scratch, right? Mm-hmm. So what would we do in that case? I'm not sure I have a great answer, but.
I'm not sure if I do either. And I'm also curious, like Dino Turf Co. could be artificial turf and their name is perfect. And they just are so good at ranking, they're ranking for multiple keywords. So it could be that too. Like it very well could be that. But if you have a name that's like, man, I screwed up and now I'm like Bob's Tallgrass Short Incorporated, LLC partnership, like just all the things at the end of a name, maybe go look into getting a DBA. Maybe cost you $50 or something, go get a DBA and you could change your name. Or you could have another Google business profile as well that forwards to your URL. There's a few different strategies. So
by the way, I just looked it up. Dino Turf Co. is actually the website's actually dinoturfcare.com, which by the way is a far better name. And they don't actually, because we live in Arizona, they don't actually treat turf, they clean artificial turf.
Interesting.
So what their actual on their website, it says Dino Turf Cleaning, which would be a far better, more relevant name.
100%.
So their actual name is way better. And Google would like that way better if I typed in turf cleaning.
Yeah, now I'm really curious.
Now I'm going to do. Now I'm going to do turf cleaning near me just because now we got to finish the story.
And this is interesting for Dino Turf Co. because now they've created a problem for themselves where they're so good they're ranking at different things, but how many unqualified leads come through the sales pipeline?
Yeah.
Just because of a 100%. Weird little name.
And by the way, they do rank on turf cleaning, so that they've done some things right there as well. Interesting. All right. So pillar 3 is in the name. The name is a little trickier to change. If you are planning on changing your name, I would consult a marketer, SEO guy to make sure you do that in a way that doesn't like explode. Like Aaron actually just did this recently where he was going from RDS Lawn Care Services to RDS Turf Care or some it was just a small little change, but man, it kind of exploded his algorithm, which was really solid where they were. And it caused some big problems. So make sure you're checking in with an SEO expert, somebody who actually knows their stuff before you make that change. My recommendation.
Yep.
And then what's pillar number 4?
It's going to be your category. And so on your Google business profile, there's a section that says primary category and additional category. Some companies, you might be one of them, have that blank and we're missing out on a big opportunity. So if you're lawn care, like Google has a fixed selection that you can choose from. Like if you're a lawn mowing company and you're a fertilizer company, the category is just lawn care services. But you have to go in there and select that. Now here's where category gets really important is one, obviously fill out the category for your business. But if you are like super heavy in mowing 6 months out of the year, and the other 6 months out of the year, you're super heavy snow removal or super heavy Christmas lights, go in and change that primary category to that other service. Like tell Google like what they should be giving you, what leads they should be showing you to. It doesn't have to be a fixed variable. That's kind of a double entendre there. It doesn't have to be a fixed setting all year round. It can be fluid. You can change it.
So you gave the example of a company that does a lot of Christmas lights as an example, or a lot of snow removal would be an example of somebody who might change that category as they move forward.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in like Minnesota in January, lawn care as a category is not going to do too much for you. Maybe switch to snow if you offer that as a service, and you will see an uptick in leads. You should.
And well, at least it will give you an opportunity to be ranked higher as a result of that change, where the other turf company in town or lawn care company in town didn't switch that. You're going to get a little bump there as a result.
And I would actually be interested on Dino Turf Co. Like we're picking on them, but maybe their category is either not set or set to lawn care when it should be set to like turf management.
I was just looking at it. How do you verify is it this listing of services? Because I have this list of services for them, but I'm trying to see if there's a way I can understand where their category is.
I don't know if you can see it from a user standpoint. It would be on their back end.
But they do have a list of services, and those lists of services definitely fit what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right. And by the way, this is just an evidence of why this is so hard in some ways. Here's a turf cleaning company. They don't own a lawnmower. And I typed in lawn care service because I wanted to get my lawn mowed, and Dino Turf Co. showed up, and I might have clicked on their link, meaning they're ranking higher than that mowing company. Mm-hmm. There's a mowing company out there that's not ranked today because this turf cleaning company is better at the game we're talking about than you are. All right.
Yep. And just imagine really quick, Dino Turf starts paying for Google LSA. They're going to spend way more money than they should be because they're attracting the wrong leads right now.
Yes. All right. Sorry, Dino Turf Co. Give us a call. We'll give you something free because we picked on you today. So, moral of the story is we want to get good at the game of the local map pack on Google. If you haven't learned or messed around with that, as the owner of your business, this is a rite of passage for scale. You have to learn it. There's not a way around it. You can't delegate it. You can't outsource it because too many times you can't outsource it, but you can't outsource the understanding of it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to hire some SEO company that says we do local SEO, and then you're not getting ranked, and you go, I don't know why I'm not getting ranked, and you can't manage your agency because you don't actually know anything about it. The education portion is not optional. Like I remember this story, and it's not. You'll see how it's relevant in a minute. But I was at a company early on, Clayt Mask, Infusionsoft. This is 15 years ago, and Clay is this incredible CEO. He's one of my mentors. He taught me so much about what it means to lead a great company. But he was like an MBA, a Juris Doctorate guy. He had his law degree and his MBA. He was like a super brilliant man. And I remember they were looking at they were going to go public with their company. And they hired a new finance guy that was going to help prepare for a public offering. Okay. So they're like, we're going to get ready for that. And I bumped into him in the hall. I said, hey man, how's it going? And I said, how's it working with Clayt? And the new guy just goes, listen, usually when I come to companies like this to do consulting, I have to educate the CEO. I didn't have to educate Clayt. Clayt was educated. And so this is another example and this is why you're on the podcast. You're doing great, but this is a place where you have to go get educated. It's like bookkeeping. You have to know how to read a P&L and a balance sheet. It's a rite of passage for a scalable CEO.
Non-negotiable.
And non-negotiable. And so I'm glad you're here because you're learning about it, but this is not enough. This single podcast is not enough. Like go jump into C Money or Claude.ai, ask Claude.ai, teach me all about this. Come to Lawn Care CEO. We're going to teach classes about it over time. Like wherever you get your information, like go get it, because this is a non-negotiable. All right. Now, before we wrap up our podcast, I want to talk about one more thing, which is once we've successfully done this work, we're going to get people to come to our website. That's all this is earning us, is them coming to our website. So let's talk for a minute about best practices and what the principles are behind whether or not I have a good website and that converts well at the end of the day. So what's working? What have you seen? I think you guys do a really good job with this. I know you've spent a lot of time on your website. What for you, by the way, you can just go steal Sam's stuff if you want to go to truthmowing.com. What's working for you as far as like, what are the principles here that we should follow?
Yeah, if we just boil it down to what really matters, your homepage has one single job. It's just to get them to call or book. It's not to impress them. And hopefully we can show you an example here in a second. It's just to get them to call or book. Because most home services, I feel like they lead with like a pretty photo of a truck, or just like fancy fonts, fancy animations that slow down site speed. Like that doesn't really do much for you. Imagine a company that just said, like there was a company that was, I'll go with the plumbing route since you mentioned it earlier. That was called like Smith Plumbing. If the header of their website said, "Welcome to Smith Plumbing," and then their competitor's header of their website said, "Reliable plumbing in Queen Creek, same day service available." It's like, just it helps convert. We're not there to impress. We also want to make a call to action and or a contact form above the fold. If we can have nobody scroll and still get their lead information, that is massive. We just want to make conversions the top priority on our website.
So principle one is we want to remove all friction from the experience of giving me your information so we can talk about selling you something.
Yep.
So this is why above the fold, get a quote. I don't want to have the friction of them even being out, having to scroll down one thumb length on their phone. I want to remove all friction by making it very clear and easy to understand what I'm getting a quote for and how to get a quote. This is why sites that have one or two services are going to outperform those that have 50 services, because it's just going to be way easier and clearer for them to get to the result. Okay. So step one is we want to do that. And we're going to use as an example today, a company called liquidlawn.com. So
Yes,
I
love this.
You were mentioning, I don't know a lot about their company, but you liked their liquidlawn.com. And so principle one is we want to remove friction. So you give me the grade on liquidlawn.com, and here we go.
Website.
Give me a grade, liquidlawn.com.
What's interesting is they're not really here to impress. Like they're here to convert.
Look at his. He's literally got a belt cell phone, like a 90-year-old man. He's got a belt cell phone tag on there.
If you just had that picture, you would get a guy like me to convert just by having that picture. Like I don't even need a contact form. I'll send you a fax if I have to. If you look like that, come into my yard. But like at the very top of the page, here we do Daytona. We're in all these areas. Here's all of our phone numbers. Boom. Then I guarantee you those numbers, if you click on them, actually call. They're not like copy and paste. You don't have to manually enter them. There's reduced friction.
Yeah.
Then we tell you exactly where we service. We tell you exactly what we do. We kill your weeds. Give me your information. Like
that is about as clean a what we do, and like we kill your weeds. Ready, set, go. Get a quote for a lush, weed-free lawn. This is outstanding. We'll see if we can get this guy on a podcast, and he has to wear the frumpy mustache. But look at this. Like most of our client, he knows exactly who his client is and exactly what they want. I want my weeds dead. And by the way, we're going to give you a quote for a lush weed-free lawn. That's it.
And then it's like, if you needed any more proof, you could, above the fold, real results you can see before and after. It's like, let me see if they're any good. You scroll down a little bit, all these photos before and after. So now you know exactly where they service.
The two principles are: one, remove friction. He's done a great job at removing friction. It is very clear what he does, where he does it, and how I move forward in the process. Super simple, above the fold. And for whatever reason, this picture is apparently helping him convert as well. The lawn man. Yes. And then the second purpose of a website, so this should show up second in the sections of your website, is trust building. What's the best, fastest way for me to go, well, am I making the right decision? I'm clear this is what he does. I'm clear how to move forward in the process, but just sell me a little. Like I can't remember what I was buying the other day, where I was like, I want to buy this, but can you just sell me a little to make me feel good about this purchase? Can you just pitch me a little bit, Mr. Marketer, and I will buy your stuff. I just need to justify that I did a little research here. And so we want to build trust. This is a great example of what trust building can be. Real results you can see before and after, before and after, before and after. And he's got this long list of befores and afters. So for him, he's going, or his marketer, whoever's doing this, he's saying the best way we can prove trustworthiness is just by showing you before and afters.
Yep. No fancy.
It's not bad.
No fancy animations. Like you have like that little Microsoft paperclip type art, the clip art, right? Like it's nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I guarantee this converts better than most people in his market.
And then, by the way, he now has real customer reviews, video reviews, social proof. Like if I were giving him an edit, I would say put your 400, 500 5-star reviews. If you've ever won any awards, I'd put those up here too. Those are good trust building things. But this is pretty solid. I give it a solid B+.
And then you have about,
and by the way, all this
is
social proof.
Nothing
all right.
else.
So he gets it, right? He goes, there are two purposes. Number one is frictionless actions that I can go take. By the way, I do love this text us button. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's like actually kind of like that. And then finally, real results you can see before and afters. Okay. So these are good, by the way. This is a good website. And it's no surprise that this guy, you said, has like 15,000 clients. It's like a massive operation he's running. And it's this dude with a funky mustache and a denim long sleeve shirt he's wearing. Now, Sam, you said your favorite website in lawn care is this guy's landing page.
Yes, we probably don't want to say the word, but if you're watching it, you can see exactly what it says, top left corner. If you're listening to it, it's kill my effing weeds, but you can infer what effing means.
Like just for my guy in Roanoke, Virginia, you know who you are. Kill my fucking weeds is what it says, .com.
Damn.
And at the end of the day, right? He says, want me to kill the shiz out of your weeds. Keep off my lawn. It is a terribly designed website, but I'm going to read through all of it. It's a picture of him, for those who are listening, who is like with his just bushy Tom Selleck mustache and
loves NASCAR.
Just like a pocket 19, like what your dad shorts are wearing with long white socks with white shoes. Like it is a terrible picture of him, and it just says, keep off my lawn. And then he goes, bold font. Okay, let's get a few things straight up front. I'm not a magician. I'm a lawn man. Been a lawn man since I was a lawn boy at 12 years old. Picture of him, me doing the same shit 30 years ago.
I love it so much.
So good. This is so good. Don't hire me if you can do it cheaper yourself. You can't, and you probably will kill your lawn. Next check. Don't hire me if you want one treatment. That's dumb and it won't work. Don't hire me if you have a real shitty lawn that needs to be resodded. He literally is saying all the things you guys are thinking.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Don't hire me if you expect a miracle in 3 days. I am not Jesus, and grass grows really slow. It takes
My,
time.
my favorite is don't hire me if you have to ask your wife to have a nice lawn. She wants it. Trust me. Just like, I love it. I love it.
You don't have to think about it. Either you want a badass lawn or you don't. Poop or get off the pot, man.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so here's the deal. We will kill the F out of your weeds, but it will take more than one treatment. And if you want a really nice lawn, this is like Ozempic. You can't get off of it. Oh my
Your
goodness.
grass needs us worse than a fat girl needs a cheeseburger. Come on.
We do not kill Bermuda or torpedo grass. Hint, it is a grass, not a weed. We still fertilize the shiznit out of your grass. We'll apply the maximum legal amount allowed to make your grass grow.
Which, by
This
the
is
way,
outstanding.
that's a fantastic
Outstanding.
line because it's like, don't we already kind of do that for the most part?
Yeah.
Might as well.
So here's like we go to the site, check it out. It's really funny.
It's
It is
amazing.
really, really well done. And if for no other reason, we all are. He's saying what we're all thinking we should say in a website, and probably more than anything, this is the spirit of what it means to build trust with your audience.
100%.
I think we had Will Hall on our podcast, 89 to 800, that episode. He's really good at this. I think you don't have to be, I feel like it's Jeff Foxworthy as a lawn care owner is really who I think this is.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like Jeff Foxworthy. But at the end of the day, what wins in business, especially in the last 10 years, is authenticity, being yourself. And what I love about this is the authentic him. And one of the things that, whether you're speaking in front of a group of people or whatever, authenticity is what breeds trust, not anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And so, those of you who follow like Gary Vee, who's a big business influencer, he swears all the time. And his argument for why he does it, because people would buy more, you would win more clients if you swore less. He goes, no, dude, this is who I am. This is this is who I effing am. This is how I talk. And it works for him because it's authentic. It wouldn't work for me because that's not authentic. Like even me saying the F word one time is like odd for me and I feel uncomfortable with it. Like that's me being authentic. Authentic is what wins. So whatever authentic looks like to you, be that. Like bring your authentic self forward. And if you can say things in a way that is different than your competitors and isn't the same cookie cutter chat GPT produced copy, you're going to resonate more than if you do it the opposite. This is why pictures of your family, and by the way, this terrible picture of him, he said, you want to get to know me? Here I am. Yeah. Right? And it's brilliant.
I love it. Yeah, we're not saying go throw a bunch of curse words on the website, but what Dan's saying is just go be yourself. Yourself will pay you just as much, if not more, than an artificial version of yourself.
Yeah. Don't be afraid as a marketer. Scared marketers aren't great winners. Be a marketer who's willing to take a few risks. Now, at the end of the day, I already can tell from this guy, if this page didn't work, if he went out to the market and was like, hey, and he had 1,000 visitors to the website and 0 people converted, he wouldn't do it anymore. And that's wise. So if for whatever reason the authentic you isn't winning, pick a different authentic version of you.
Stop being yourself. No.
Stop. Yeah, whatever you do, don't be yourself.
Be different.
No, so we still have to be smart. We have to be wise. We have to be strategic. But I'm telling you, more often than not, that instinct that says, if I said that, the people that I usually talk to would resonate with that. And that's probably where you learn the best, is when you've been out selling and you're talking to clients and you say a phrase that comes normal and naturally to you and that resonates with people. That's probably going to resonate on your website as well. And so you're searching for content that converts. And so we want to make sure that whatever content's converting face to face is showing up in almost the exact same phrasing, the exact same words as we use when we're selling in person. So don't be afraid because it's a website that it needs to be somehow formal or fancy. It needs to be friction free, and it needs to be authentic and trustworthy. And those, when you nail those things, you're going to do that. And I'll only say one more thing just because I have to. So trustworthy, friction free, and SEO friendly, meaning tons of keywords, and it does everything that Google wants to see and all the things that Google wants to find. Other than that, that's what a website's meant to be. And then we test and modify until we win. All right, Sam, I think I'm very pleased with myself on this website, on this podcast today. I feel like we covered a ton of really great, specific, detailed content on how to do this.
Yeah, I agree. And entertaining for me. This was fantastic. If you guys don't know Dan, that was a special treat. What just happened?
for me to swear. I know.
Yes.
All right. Hey, you guys, we love you. We hope you're having just an incredible season. Thanks for tuning in, our tens of listeners. At the end of the day, as always, go do more good. Thanks for listening.